Ja, noch nicht angefangen. Ja, angefangen. So, mache ich ja nicht. Share Screen mache ich jetzt. Gut. So, wir Blackboard. Ja, ist mein Bildschirm sichtbar?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Ist allen mein Bildschirm sichtbar?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, wo haben wir uns gestern aufgehört? Also, wo sehen wir?
Lektion 4.
Ja. Ja, genau. Also, wir wollen mit den Übungen beginnen, mit diesen Konnektoren. Damit wir dann diese Konnektoren hinter uns haben, machen wir diese Übung zu Ende. Die Konnektoren hier sind euch allen schon bekannt. Und die Übung hier testet unsere Kenntnisse. So, Moment, ein bisschen kleiner mache ich das. 11 Sätze gibt es hier und etwa 11 Konnektoren haben wir in dem Kasten. Ja. So, welche Konnektor oder welcher Konnektor passen hier in den ersten, sagen wir, 8 Sätzen? Erstmal den Text bis zum hierher lesen. Also kommen am Anfang und dann bis gemacht, also ganz am Ende der Seite. Lest mal diese Mail oder diesen Text bis zum 8. Satz, bis zur 8. Lücke, in the 8th blank. Und dann könnt ihr damit anfangen, die Konnektoren einzusetzen.
Die erste ist damit.
Ja, also bis zum Ende lesen zuerst, also bis zum 8. und dann anfangen.
Okay, ich kann. Okay.
Gelesen bis zum 8. Satz?
Lese ich oder Raja?
Bist du dann fertig bis zum 8. Satz? Till the 8th sentence?
No, wir alle müssen alle 8 Satz lesen.
Okay.
So bis zum 8. Satz lesen und dann anfangen. Fertig? Ja, jetzt los. Bin sicher, ihr habt alle Absätze gelesen. So, wer fängt an?
Erste.
Ja, mit dem ersten Satz.
Wir haben in der Arbeit doch so ein Teamseminar gemacht, damit wir wieder ein starkes Team werden.
Danke, Raja.
Ja, okay. Ich sage, dass das am Anfang ziemlich doof fanden.
Deswegen habe ich gesagt, also alles zum Weiterlesen, damit man das alles zusammenfassen kann.
So Kanisch.
Ja, Devika.
So trotzdem übertreiben kann ich sagen,
Geht
dass.
nicht, geht nicht.
Okay.
Same.
Geht nicht. Übertreiben ist Infinitiv, kann ist Modalverb, sagen ist Infinitiv.
Yes, so was ist this Staatsbau hier?
Wir haben zwei Infinitiv und ein Modalverb.
Yes, sir.
Und das finite Verb, das konjugierte Verb, steht am Ende.
Sondern?
Mein
Mit
Start
sondern brauchen wir ein Nicht.
Start so.
Nein,
Und dann aber.
auch nicht möglich.
Aber passt.
Nein, infinitive है ना. aber आता तो subject होता.
Wir haben hier zweimal Infinitiv. Übertreiben und sagen, aber nur ein Modalverb.
So was ist this Staatsbau hier? Übertreiben vor kann und dann sagen am Ende.
Ja, das ist ganz richtig.
अच्छा. ओहना zoo without that.
Was ist übertreiben?
To exaggerate.
Exaggerate.
Entschuldigung, was
Ja,
bedeutet
Shashank.
ich kann nicht die Bedeutung von übertreiben verstehen.
Übertreiben to exaggerate. बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोलना.
Okay. Aber übertreiben kann ich sagen.
Geht nicht, geht nicht. Nach aber kommt das Subjekt normalerweise. Ich habe viel Zeit, aber ich habe kein Geld. Aber ich habe, und nicht ich habe, aber habe ich.
ओहना
Ohne
zoo.
zu. Ohne zu.
Dazu, wenn wir zwei Infinitiv haben, also übertreiben und sagen, was davor steht, die einzige Möglichkeit ist zu plus Infinitiv. Zwei Infinitive kommen, auch wenn wir das Modalverb perfekt bilden. Ihr habt es vergessen vielleicht. Also. Okay? Auch okay? Das ist hier Präsens. What is going on here? Stupid. the presence? Präteritum? Und jetzt. Do you remember this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Ich kann die Arbeit machen, ich konnte die Arbeit machen, ich habe die Arbeit machen können. Habe und zwei Infinitive. Also aus diesem Logik gibt es hier ein Haben irgendwo. Also es gibt kein Haben, das Verb haben fehlt hier. Nummer 1. Nummer 2. Die Verben sind getrennt, die sind nicht zusammen. Die müssen zusammenspielen. Also, ein Haben ist nicht möglich und außerdem haben wir diese Option nicht. Wir müssen hier einen Konnektor einsetzen. Also, welcher Konnektor bildet ein Infinitiv mit zu? Oder welcher Konnektor bildet ein Infinitiv des Verbs? Also das ist immer ein zu.
So, but here is can in presence form.
Ja, so ich kann. Subjekt ist ich. So, wo ist das Problem?
Übertreiben und sagen, beiden in Infinitiv.
Ja, einmal mit Modalverb, einmal mit zu.
Was er mit Modalverb wir können nicht zu benutzen.
Second part में we can.
एक मिनट. Also, I can see you successfully.
Second part में we can.
Is this correct?
Yes, sir. Hissa.
Is this sentence correct?
9, sir.
9.
See? This is the rule you're quoting right now.
Yes, sir.
You're saying you can't use so with modal verb. Fine, I agree. You can't use it here.
That's okay.
Is this possible?
Yes.
Yes.
So how does that so disturb you if it's at the beginning?
Because of comma.
Can I not say this also? Sagen kann ich, ohne zu übertreiben. Can I not formulate my sentence this way?
Ist möglich.
Möglich. Wo steht das Verb?
Second
Das verlinkte
position.
Verb? Second place. So, where is my mistake? So, where is the problem? There is no problem. So, I take this part in the front. And comes my thus sentence. If I want or wish to, I can always start with thus.
Sir, after übertreiben, Benutzen wir kein Komma?
No, hier nicht, because you have shifted the word around. Kein Komma. As we move along, you are learning a newer way of projecting an older sentence. All this we have learned earlier. Okay, there's no problem at all.
Sir-
Ich darf nicht in die Schule gehen, ohne zu frühstücken. Ich darf nicht ins College gehen, ohne zu frühstücken. Ohne zu frühstücken darf ich nicht ins College gehen. And that's exactly the structure here. Raja, du hast den Satz hier.
Ja, ohne zu übertreiben kann ich sagen, dass das am Anfang alle ziemlich doof fanden.
Right. So what is the meaning of this sentence?
Without exaggerating,
Uh-huh.
I can
I
say
can
that,
say, yeah.
all the starting are quite dumb.
Silly.
Without exaggerating, I can say that everyone or all
At beginning,
Someone-
actually everybody looks silly. Everything
found, you need the verb in English first. That everyone or all found that quite dumb. That everyone or all found that quite dumb. What did this thus refer to? What did everyone find as dumb? That. What?
Team
reader
seminar.
and Starkest team seminar.
Yes. That's the reason I asked you to read it as a whole before you started solving it. This is exactly the reason why I asked you to read it. Please read it before you start solving it. So, wir haben in der Arbeit dort so ein Teamseminar gemacht, damit wir wieder ein starkes Team werden. Ohne zu übertreiben kann ich sagen, dass das am Anfang alle ziemlich doof fanden. Wir waren uns einig, dass unser Chef uns lieber bessere Computer besorgen sollte. That's all I told them. What comes here now? Wir waren uns einig. Einig sein. What does it mean? Einig sein.
United.
United. Be one. We are all one. This is the same word einig, which is present in yeah. And you know this word. Die Vereinigten Staaten.
United States. United States.
In German, die Vereinigten Staaten. And if you use the borrowed word, die USA, and this is immer plural. Please note, this is always used in plural. It's a United States, not United State. Staaten. If you're using it, especially in the dative plural, you will have to use it with den and not accusative plural as die. Ich arbeite in den USA. Ich arbeite in den Vereinigten Staaten. Must use it in plural. It's the same word, einig, coming together, united. So from one to another, you will find lots of connections, or lots of word meaning connections. So, jetzt, wir waren uns einig. Now, yeah, it's okay. So, wir waren uns einig.
Das
Unser Chef
Ja,
uns lieber bessere Computer besorgen solle,
ja,
anstatt das Geld für ein Teamseminar auszugeben.
ist richtig. Was bedeutet der Satz jetzt?
So instead of the seminar, we stand united.
Instead of ausgeben, Geld ausgeben.
Spending on the money.
Yeah, instead of spending money on
Yeah,
a
yeah.
team
Instead
seminar.
of seminar, we want the money to be spent on computer training.
No. Instead of spending money on computers, he should have arranged for better computers. Or instead of arranging, spending money on a team seminar, he should have arranged for. Ausgeben is for the second sentence, besorgen is for the first. They're two different verbs. It doesn't say giving out money for seminar and computer. It doesn't say that. Two different verbs, so you'll have to split the meaning also. We were unanimous that our chef should rather arrange for better computers for us than or instead of spending money on such a team seminar. Pause. Habt ihr Fragen? Any questions here? When you translate, you will have problems. Avoid translating. Just look at the structure. Just look at the structure. Wir waren uns einig. Worüber? We were united. What about? That our boss could rather arrange for better computers. Rather, lieber. So rather arrange for better computers. What was the other option? What was the other alternative? Spending money on a team seminar. Aha. So he should not have done that. Correct. So instead of spending money for a team seminar, our boss should have arranged for better computers for us. Und darüber waren wir uns einig. So if you twist the sentence, you will end up with darüber waren wir uns einig. To be united about something. In this manner, you can also use the W question. Wir waren uns einig. Worüber? Das. And the lieber here, you can stop here if you wish. Rather than, rather arrange for better computers for us. It makes sense. But that rather is rather incomplete or preferably incomplete because you are mentioning some other context which is missing here. I'd prefer going to Goa on my annual holiday. Fine. On its own, sentence is self-English. Makes sense. But that preference part normally is with regard to something. Agreed? When you say prefer, that means you have something else in your mind which you're not mentioning. It's a comparative, lieber, gern lieber. So what is this gern part which you have always done? Two ways of expressing it. Lieber als. So you give that as a comparative. He always gives us this, so I prefer this. I always drink this, I prefer this. Einmal. That is one way. The other way is the hidden sentence. I'd rather sit at home and have a quiet meal instead of spending money in a restaurant. So now the entire thought, half of which I did not mention earlier, is clear because now I've come up with this instead of. Remember, instead of is a kind of a comparison. Just think. It's going against what you have said. And instead of this, this should be done. So is it not a kind of a comparison? You have two things. The usual Optionsdilemma bei einem Eisgeschäft, Eisladen. Vanilla or strawberry? So instead of vanilla, why are you taking strawberry today? The meaning is clear. You always take strawberry, and today you are eating something else. So why? Anstatt Vanilla zu essen, esse ich heute Erdbeereis.
Correct.
Right? So it's a kind of a hidden comparison. So once you see a lieber here, see what is being said. It makes things clearer. And then you can understand the usage here. Okay, let's go on. Number 4. Now you've got a running context here.
Aber ich muss sagen, das Seminar war echt super. Und wir sind in einem Hochseilpark gefahren. Da muss man in 5 bis 10 Metern Höhe über die Seile balancieren und Hindernisse überwinden. Natürlich ohne runterzufallen.
Correct. Runterzufallen. Yeah, runterzufallen. Now, look at the sentence here. What is Seil? Das Seil. Das Seil.
Sailing, das Seil is rope.
Rope, correct. So, Hochseilpark.
On the height.
Yeah. Hochseilpark.
Jungle gym, yeah.
Yeah, jungle gym. Literally translated word for word, high rope park. Or simply rope park. Wir sind in einem Hochseilpark gefahren. Da muss man in 5 bis 10 Meter Höhe. 10 Meter is about 30 feet. 5 meters is 15 feet. This is one floor, 15 feet. Assuming each floor is 12 feet high. It's quite a height. 10 meters into 3.3, so 33 feet. This will be about 2.5 floors up. Normally floor to ceiling in most houses is 12 feet. So in feet, 2 stories, a little more than 2 stories, 2 floors. So da muss man in 5 bis 10 Meter Höhe über Seile, plural, balancieren. See, they've taken the word from English. Normally borrowed words from other languages, they are Germanized with this ieren am Ende. Fotografieren, telefonieren, telegrafieren, diskutieren. So when they are taken from outside the German language, they are Germanized in this infinitive manner with ieren als Suffix. Studieren was one of the first one we learned. Ja? Und Hindernisse überwinden. Hindernis,
Obstacles.
Obstacle. Article,
The
B.
das. Das Hindernis. Nouns ending with nis are normally das, neuter. Plural, Hindernisse. This is the plural you add. Se. Sonst Hindernis ist Singular, das Hindernis. Natürlich, ohne runterzufallen. Do you remember the Hin und Her we did?
yes, sir.
Inside a building.
Yeah. So I also told you the short form for either hinunter or herunter. For both, the short form is runter.
Hinein.
Right? The short form is runter. Runter, rein, raus. You don't have to say hinein or heraus or hinaus. You're not sure of what it is. So use the r form. Ich komme rein, ich gehe rein. Either. Ich komme raus. Either way. You don't have to worry, is it heraus or is it hinaus? Ich komme raus. So the short forms make it easy. But just for practice, what should this be? Natürlich ohne runterzufallen. Naturally without falling hinunter or herunter.
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 Hinunter. He's talking about this part, falling from here downwards, away from this point downwards, also hinunter. Remember, from a point from where that sentence is being articulated with that subject, he should not fall down from here. So from this point onwards, away. So hinunter. If this person is standing downstairs, up here on the ground, and he's describing these people here, then it would mean herunter, 2 words, niche. Please remember, hin is always at away mode.
Away.
Wohin gehen Sie? Woher kommen Sie? You just remember one of them. You don't have to remember both meanings. Remember one, the other automatically falls into place. It's up to you which one you want to remember. I would suggest hin. Wohin gehen Sie? Wohin fahren Sie? Wohin fliegen Sie? These are the first sentences we learn in German. Ich fliege nach München. Ich fliege nach Stuttgart. Ich fliege nach Berlin. Away. So as he says here, to balance at this height, so one is already balanced at this height, so from this height one should not fall down. So hinunter. Anyway, runter is good. You don't have to worry now. Okay. Yeah, weiter. We need the options here. Yeah. Man ist zwar sehr gut gesichert.
Aber sondern hatte ich ganz schön Angst.
Moment. Why? Where is the sondern? Where is the nicht? Where is the negative? Sondern will always come with a negative, either nicht or kein.
Es war aber.
Trotzdem.
Yeah,
Trotzdem.
naturally.
Genau.
Yeah, trotzdem.
Correct.
Babita, can you complete the sentence, please?
Man ist zwar sehr gut gesichert,
Gesichert.
aber trotzdem hatte ich ganz schön Angst.
Ja. Schön, ne. Ja, ganz schön. Ja, okay. Right away, ganz schön.
Weiter?
One is indeed gesichert. One is indeed secured. That means you have protective ropes and bands around you so that you don't fall down. One is indeed secured. But in spite of that, I really had fear. I was really scared. Right so far? So, yeah. So one damit is over. So there's one more damit to come. Okay. So, yes, Nummer 7. Und 8.
Ja. Das Schlimmste waren wackelige, schaukelnde Autoreifen,
Ein Moment, Autoreifen,
Tires.
Tires,
car
car tires.
tires. Wackelig, ein wackeliger Stuhl. Der Stuhl ist sehr wackelig.
Not stable.
Not stable, unstable, wobbly. Something that is wobbly. Maybe one leg is not there or one leg is broken. So when a chair goes like this, that is called wackelig.
Schaukelnde Autoreifen.
Come across the word Schaukel.
Yes.
Die Kinder spielen Schaukel. Sie sitzen auf der Schaukel. Also die Schaukel geht so.
Swing, okay.
Swinging.
Swing. The swing is called Schaukel. And when you say Schaukelnd, what does it mean?
Swinging.
Swinging
Where
car tires.
Yeah, or a rocking. No? The car tires are suspended by a rope. You have to climb on top of the tires and go to the other side. So when you climb, the moment you touch this free hanging tire, it's one unstable and at the same time it's also swinging. So getting a good grip and climbing on a swinging thing is not easy. So das Schlimmste, the worst, waren
Wackelige,
ja,
schaukelnde Autoreifen, über die man klettern musste, zur nächsten Plattform zu kommen.
ist richtig. Ja. Zur nächsten Plattform. Article for platform.
Der
There.
Die
D.
platform. Raja, feminine, dative, zu der.
zur nächsten. Ja, richtig. Zur nächsten.
The platform. Okay, and what comes here? Nummer 8.
Aber.
Aber
Yeah, read it through,
Aber.
please.
Aber am Anfang haben wir auch Spiele am Boden gemacht.
Super, Anjali, well done. That means we also played out games on the floor before we did all this acrobatics, circus things. Now we have 9, 10, 11. Three more. So what all do we have left over in the three?
Damit.
Sondern, ohne
Sondern
das.
is one.
Damit is one.
Damit.
One damit is left.
Und ohne das.
Is it? We're not done only this?
Yes.
Okay, only this. Okay. Now read the remaining part till the end. Also am besten. And then you can fill it up automatically.
Am besten war die Situation, wo wir in einer Gruppe auf die andere Seite eines löchrigen Nestes kommen mussten, ohne dass dasselbe Loch mehr als einmal gebraucht wird. Okay. Zuerst müsste also ein starker Mann auf die andere Seite, damit wir die nächste Person durch ein Loch oben im Netz heben konnten und er sie auffangen konnte. Es war wirklich super und hat nicht nur Spaß gemacht, sondern wir sind jetzt wirklich wieder ein starkes Team. Christian.
Good, Devika. Anjali, look here. Nicht. Yeah? And this is not just Anjali alone, for everyone. Nicht and
No sondern auch.
sondern. See? So if you're using sondern, whenever, also immer wenn wir das Negationswort sondern verwenden sollten, dann müssen wir nach dem anderen Wortpaar suchen. Und das ist normalerweise entweder nicht oder kein.
Correct.
So
Sir?
this- ja?
Sir, ist sondern oder aber beides in gleich?
Nein. Nein. Von der Bedeutung her, ja. Aber vom Gebrauch her, nein. Sondern kommt immer mit einem Nicht, aber kommt mit einem positiven Satz. Also, wo war das?
Not only this, but that also.
Yeah, not only, but also. Whereas aber is more positive. Yeah. Yeah, this is with zwar. We had one aber here somewhere. Yeah.
The fear, yeah.
Fear.
Aber is the negative of a prior sentence which is in positive. Ich habe Geld, aber keine Zeit. Ich habe Zeit, aber kein Geld.
Mit aber auch Sir negation ना keine.
नहीं आएगा. Keine
Ich
and aber.
habe,
Ja,
ich habe Zeit, aber kein Geld.
ja, ich habe keine Zeit तो नहीं बोला ना.
Okay.
You're negating the previous sentence with aber. The entire previous sentence. Whereas with sondern, you're negating a negative sentence. There's a difference. Negating a negative and negating a entire sentence. Da gibt es einen Unterschied. So if you look at it from the point of view of negative,
Ja.
now I'm negating this nicht nach Stuttgart with a sondern nach, and I give you a new destination. There is a clear negation of the negative, whereas with aber there is no such thing. We're talking about fahren nach Stuttgart. So destination is not changed. But if you're assuming I'm going by car, no. But not by car. Oder not by train. There is no negative here. So I'm negating a separate thought, not something within the sentence. Whereas with nicht und sondern, I'm negating something in the sentence. The follow-up sentence, the answer comes out with a different, with a changed version. It's the same as I hope you remember this.
Yes, sir.
Hast du Zeit? Nein. Ich habe keine Zeit.
Yeah.
It has to be nein. You cannot say
Ja, ich habe keine Zeit.
das geht nicht.
Ja.
You can't use ja and keine. Not possible. Not possible. Your keine, nicht will always come with a nein, not with ja, which we very happily use when we speak English or Hindi also for that matter. It's like when you ask somebody in Hindi, कल नहीं आ रहे हो तुम? हाँ, नहीं आ रहा हूँ. What is this? हाँ, नहीं आ रहा हूँ. You're not coming tomorrow? Yes, I'm not coming tomorrow. What kind of answer is that? Yes, not coming tomorrow, that word yes is wrong. Not coming? No, I'm not coming. Not yes, I'm not coming. It's totally wrong. You are creating a new language. How can you use a positive yes with a negative no? Just look around you, keep your ears open, and you'll see how many mistakes people are committing. A negative question should always be answered with a negative if you agree with that statement. Do you have a maid working for you? No. Do you have a maid working for you? Yes. You do not have a maid working for you? No, I do not have. Not yes, I do not have. I want to agree to that negative question. How do I agree? By answering in the negative. And with doch, you are negating keinen. Please remember these. These are basic things. Nicht, sondern. Yeah, Zwillingspaar. They are twins, like zwar, aber. Weder noch, entweder oder. And this is an interesting game here. Ein löchrigen Netzes. Eines löchrigen Netzes. Was ist ein Loch? Das Loch, die Löcher?
Hole.
Hole. A net always has holes in it. Also am besten war die Station, wo wir in einer Gruppe auf die andere Seite eines löchrigen Netzes kommen mussten. So there was a net spread out. Net itself means hole. And the rule here was the same hole in the net could not be used more than once. So if you put your hand in it once, you are not allowed to put your leg or anything else in the same hole. Ja, ohne das, without the same hole, dasselbe Loch, dasselbe, das Loch, dasselbe. If it is a masculine noun, derselbe, nominative. Feminine noun, dieselbe, the same, feminine. If it is accusative, neuter, dasselbe, masculine accusative, denselben. It's equal to the English, the same. Right? So like, let's say the marker, brand. Ein Freund hat ein Tata Nexon gekauft. Ich habe dieselbe Marke gekauft. I bought the same brand, the same model. Dieselbe, together. Zusammengeschrieben. Any doubts here in this text? Sind wir im Klaren mit den Konnektoren? Are we okay?
Yes.
Alle?
Yes.
Okay, good. Try this for practice sometime. Make some nice sentences. Manche Firmen bieten Teamseminare an,
Wieder ein starkes Team zu werden.
use something else. Be creative. They offer team seminars
Andere Leute kennenzulernen.
Spaß zu haben.
What is a team seminar for?
Spaß.
That's only one thing. What is the main objective of a team seminar?
To educate.
See, that is the whole point here. You can't put whatever you please. Ja, Raja, du hast was gesagt? To educate.
Yeah, it's to educate.
So can you complete the sentence?
Das Team zu
Ausbilden.
Schulen oder
Das
Ausbilden.
Team zu schulen. Ja, das ist eine Möglichkeit. Oder?
erziehen oder unterrichten.
Ja, ein Teamgeist zu entwickeln.
Teamgeist zu entwickeln. Das passt gut, ja, genau.
Ja, to develop a team spirit. Das Team zusammenzubringen. To bring the team together. So you have to work out from that logic as to what you can put here. This is about basically this chapter, nothing more. Okay. Module 4, ja, this is in Bezug auf die Stellenangebote. And about the negatives and the positives. I skipped here, diese 5 Texte. So flexibel mit 8, 9 Texte sind da. Okay. Now here the whole idea is what goes where. It's a laser exercise and basically with Arbeits Workshops und Firmen Workshops und so weiter. Unser Unternehmen, Stelzen, Anbauten and vocabulary all associated with office. So I can come back to this a little later, make a note of it. This is page 39. I'm more keen on doing that grammar because this has got some kind of new grammar here. Okay. Can you complete this Bewerbung schreiben? Moment. Ja. Verstehen wir alle diese Wörter zuerst? Beigefügten Unterlagen.
Attached documents.
Okay.
Benötiger is necessary. Beschäftigt is busy, kind of occupied or. Bewerbe mich, I apply for. Bewerbung als for a Stelle.
Ja.
Und eine persönliche Vorstellung ist ein personal introduction or interview Vorstellung. Genannten Voraussetzungen. Ja, bitte. Bitte.
Ja, Devika.
Sir, erfolgreich ausüben. Tätigkeit gerne und erfolgreich ausüben.
Eine Tätigkeit ausüben. This noun goes with this verb. What is this? Eine Tätigkeit ausüben.
Üben is to practice.
Ja.
Activities.
Ja.
Test out.
So what is ausüben? Kritik ausüben.
Practice.
To practice criticism literally. To exercise criticism. So, Tätigkeit ausüben, das Nomen und das Verb, sie gehören zusammen.
Like the activities and success to be practiced.
To carry out, to practice, to indulge in, all that is ausüben. Gerne und erfolgreich. Gladly and successfully,
Yes,
happily and successfully. So to practice an activity, to do an activity, to indulge in an activity, to carry out, to exercise, range of meanings. Okay, so we have, I think, 1, 2. Yeah, will do.
Yes.
So till about 10 we can manage here. Yeah.
Sucht Kaufmann.
Yeah, what will come here? Number 1.
Sir, sucht Kaufmann.
9. This is a brief.
Bewerbung als.
Ja, Bewerbung als Kaufmann. Heading.
Sehr
Zweiter ist sehr geehrte
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren.
Hmm?
bin ich.
Im Jobcenter bin ich auf Ihre Anzeige aufmerksam geworden,
Well done.
mit der Sie zum 1. Dezember einen
Zum
Kaufmann,
1. Dezember
1. Dezember einen Kaufmann suchen.
suchen. Correct. So im Jobcenter bin ich aufmerksam auf. Attention to. Bin ich auf Ihre Anzeige aufmerksam geworden. I came. My attention was drawn to your advertisement, by which you were looking for in which you were looking for a Kaufmann by 1st December. Yeah. Seit nunmehr
Fast 3 Jahren bin ich bei der Firma ELS Ger in einer vergleichbaren Position beschäftigt.
beschäftigt. I've been occupied or I've been working in a comparable position for the past 3 years. Okay.
Da ich meine praktische Erfahrung sammeln.
Yeah, once again. Audio was not clear, so I missed out.
Da ich meine praktische Erfahrungen sammeln.
No.
Meine, dann kommt
Read till the end. Don't put it or start filling in sentences random. Read the sentence till the end. Till the end. Also da ich meine und so weiter, Komma, wenn ich überzeige, Komma, die weiter und so weiter. Und Kaufmann. Till here you have to read.
Da ich meine.
ich glaube, ich habe die Antwort.
Da ich meine einer persönlichen Vorstellung.
Da ich meine Tätigkeit gerne und erfolgreich ausübe, ja, das ist korrekt, bin ich überzeugt, die genannten Voraussetzungen der Prerequisites erfüllen zu können.
Bin ich überzeugt, ja?
Überzeugt, die genannten Voraussetzungen der Prerequisites erfüllen zu können.
Ja, und?
Erfüllen zu können und bewerbe mich hiermit um diese Stelle als Kaufmann.
Stop. It's good. Well done. This is correct. Now look at this sentence here. Da,
Meine Wünsche.
Moment. Da ich meine, 1 minute please. Da ich meine, blank, Komma, bin ich überzeugt. This sentence begins with a verb after a comma. These 3 words is a sentence. It begins with a verb. When does a sentence begin with a verb after a comma? Let's go back to your structures. When does a sentence begin with a verb? After a comma. Only in such a construction, isn't it? Or have you forgotten this? Only when the structure is Nebensatzhauptsatz, only in such cases the verb will be right after the comma in this sentence because it is a Hauptsatz. So obviously what is before is a Nebensatz. So da ich meine etwas, this is a da here. And da is similar to
Because.
while. So it's a Nebensatz. We did this conjunction earlier, this connector earlier, da und weil. Do you remember? Or have you forgotten? In this sentence, da is not possible. In this sentence, it is not recommended. Why? Das haben wir auch diskutiert. This was in the sixth or seventh lesson of book 1. Do you remember this Faustregel, the rule of the thumb? Yeah.
Conditional Satz.
It's a causal Satz. It's not conditional. It's causal. It gives a reason, cause.
We can start with the da compound, but and then comes the Hauptsatz. Aber for while
Huh?
we start with the Hauptsatz.
No.
1 minute, I will refer my
No,
notes.
it's nothing to do with that. You may
Sir,
use a
the
while. Yeah.
sir, da benutzen wir, when reason is not important.
Not at all. Not at all. It's a totally different reason, and I very much remember telling you this. When you invert a sentence in this manner, then you do not begin with while for reasons of good German. When you want to speak or write good German, you never begin a sentence with the word while. You are allowed to begin with da, but not with while. So, weil ich heute viel Arbeit habe, sentence is okay at the A1. You're still learning German, so that is allowed, not at B2. At B2, this is considered very bad written German. There is a norm in German and also in English. Never begin a sentence with weil. Instead of weil, you always use an alternative, da.
Da sagen Sie über ob.
Nein. Ob doesn't have an option. Da and weil are synonyms. It's not good style. The same thing in English. Never ever begin a sentence with because. It's very bad English style. Every grammar teacher in England will tell you that. Never begin a sentence. Why a teacher? A school kid will tell you that. Never begin a sentence with because. Because it's raining, I won't be coming for class today. Okay, I understood. Your English is wonderful. Excellent. Agreed. But you don't get marks because your sentence usage was wrong. It's not good style at all. Never begin a sentence with because in English. Never begin a sentence with weil in German. Instead, use da. Whereas in this latter sentence, preferred word is weil. If you want, you can use da, but normally one doesn't use. Weil will always come in the inverted form, Hauptsatz, Nebensatz form. Then you can use weil. So anyway, coming back here, the sentence begins with da, so it must end with a verb. Since it must end with a verb, we need something here that ends with a verb. And that verb should be conjugated with ish. Subject is show me here. Well, which of these options is the verb? Which verbs here end with a conjugation pattern matching ish?
Bewerben.
Can I say da ich meine bewerbe mich? It must end with a verb and not with a reflexive. There are only two options here which end with a verb or where there's a verb. Benötige and Auslöser. Okay. So da ich meine benötige. Benötigen as a verb means to need. So as I require my what? As I need my what? The sentence is incomplete. Only one blank, one word, or one phrase. There's nothing else that you can combine with benötige. Because all the phrases here, almost all of them have the verb with them. The other option is this one. So, da ich meine Tätigkeit gerne und erfolgreich ausübe, bin ich überzeugt. It begins to make sense. So, by looking at the sentences itself, man kann diese Übung lösen. There's no trial and error, hit and miss. Ganz logische Ergänzungen hier. And from just what we have learned, you just have to look at the sentence and then fill it up. And here, hierbei dieser Stelle als Kaufmann. Means it should fit with some verb that takes beschäftigen Nein, beschäftigen mit. Erteilen and zu erteilen is the last part. So zu erteilen geht's auch nicht. Suchen falsch, suchen nach. Benötigen I don't know.
Beifügen.
Beigefügten Unterlagen, you can't separate that. No?
Bewerbe mich.
Bewerben mich.
Soll ich bewerben?
Bewerben.
Sich bewerben So by looking at it, by analysis of the sentence on what you have learned, you can solve this exercise. You don't even need to know the meanings of all the verbs.
So was war am 7. Stelle? 7. Stelle.
Yeah, Raja, number 7, do you remember what was there?
Ja, genannten Voraussetzungen.
Yeah.
Prerequisites.
Something here with the. It's ganz logisch. Let's finish it now. How many more are there? So, how much Kaufmann? So, Wunsch till 12 now. So, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 are there. Okay. So, yeah, I can go up and down. Mein Wunsch und so weiter, Komma, hängt damit zusammen, dass ich seit dem Umzug der Firma Adelsperger jeden Tag fast 3 Stunden etc. Dash.
Mein Wunsch.
Mein Wunsch.
When you say mein Wunsch and then etc., logically, my desire is connected or depends thereupon. What structure will come here? My desire.
Praktische Erfahrung sammeln.
Wait. Complete this
Beruf.
sentence logically. My desire, etc., depends thereupon that what structure should come here after my desire? Logic.
Mein Wunsch, mich beruflich zu verändern.
Genau, also ein zu plus infinitive. My
Zu plus
desire to change, my desire to acquire, my desire to better myself. It has to be a to structure. So zu plus infinitive. Only one possibility. Mich beruflich zu verändern. Go purely by structure. My desire to change myself professionally depends thereupon, hängt damit zusammen, dass ich seit dem Umzug der Firma Adelsperger jeden Tag fast 3 Stunden für die Fahrt zwischen Wohnung und Arbeitsplatz. Punkt. Das Sentence. Blank. Punkt. I need a verb.
Correct.
I need a verb. Benötiger. I need a verb that goes with ich. It's a Nebensatz. Blank. Punkt. Verb am Ende. Ending with E. Ausübe is already done. So the only leaves Benötiger. So you put Benötiger here. So it's combined with my desire to change myself professionally, is connected with or depends thereupon that I need a verb. I require almost 3 hours every day for the journey between my apartment and the workplace ever since my shifting or moving from the firm Adelsberg. That ever since I moved from the firm Adelsberger, I need almost 3 hours a day or every day, each day, for my travel between my apartment and workplace. See? So simple it is. And the more the blanks you fill up, the fewer the options you have, which means by the end you have solved the exercise by yourself. Mein Chef, Herr Maurer, yeah. Mein Chef, ja,
Soll ich lesen?
ja, bitte.
Mein Chef, Herr Mauer, ist über meinen angestrebten Arbeitswechsel aus den oben angeführten Gründen informiert und gerne
Bereit?
bereit, Auskunft über mich zu erteilen.
Is good.
So to
Ignore
grant
everything else. Mein Chef, Herr Maurer, ist bereit, Auskünfte.
Zuteilen. Infinitive mit zu.
My boss is ready.
to
Information about me. What is the structure I need? Is ready to.
Infinitive mit zu.
Ready to. So I need a su plus infinitive here. Simple. So, wie Sie aussehen können, nehmen das.
So, ersehen bedeutet?
To see, to observe, to draw conclusions, to read through, to understand. Contextual. Whole lot of meaning. So, as you can very well see, as you can very well observe, whatever. As you can very well see from the what?
experience.
No. From the
Unterlagen.
yeah. We are very well see from the beigefügten Unterlagen. So the attached documents. Habe ich vor, etc., etc., etc. Now watch out. Habe können. Perfect mit Modalverb, so there must be another infinitive.
My experience.
Mit Berufsfläche.
So, yeah.
Praktische Erfahrungen sammeln.
Sammeln können. Well done, Raja. There's a habe. So there'll be a double infinitive. Können is already there, sammeln. Habe ich for the untritt minus so and so and so.
Stellung die Berufsschule besucht und in 3 verschiedenen Filmen
Praktische
Erfahrung
Erfahrungen sammeln können.
sammeln können.
Ja. See? As you can see from my attached documents, I have been able to gather practical experience before my entrance into before my entry into the present position. No, I'll have to redo this. That I have been to the Berufsschule and gathered experience in 3 different forms before my entry into the present position. So, über die Gelegenheit zu freue ich mich sehr. There's only one thing left over.
Persönlich.
Persönlichen Vorstellung.
Vorstellungen.
So there you are. It is simple.
It's not really simple. It has a lot of logic.
No, Raja.
We required mehr Zeit.
It's not simple because we are still using the school methods which were taught to us. First blank, fill that, then go to the next blank. How can you do that? Your first blank has 15 alternatives. Your second one will have 14. The third one will have 13. Now, what kind of way is to do that? Yo, look at your chances of failure in the first blank itself. There are 14 possible wrong answers for the first blank. So first, read the whole text, always. Once you do that, your mind will automatically fill in the blanks for you. What should come here? Your mind does it for you. Your brain does it for you. It's an amazing thing, the brain. Once you have learned the basics of language, it will start filling the things. And once you do that, more than half your problem is solved. The next step is look at the structures. What is it that I need here? Who's worried about the meaning? There's a verb here, an adjective verb means preposition. If there's an adjective, probably an ending which goes with that. And then apply the rules. Don't do it individually, one blank at a time and say, if this is wrong, okay, let me try the next one. Okay, then I'll try the next one. And sowas funktioniert das nicht. I'll give you a small tip that I remember reading in one of these seminars part, and also in the methodology and the teaching and learning, psychology of learning and teaching. Always reject the correct answer. Don't select the correct answer. Reject the wrong answers first. In a multiple choice, you have to reject the wrong answers. How do I know what are the wrong answers? Logic. Your mind helps you there. Yesterday there was one kid who was being asked this question on Kaun Banega Crorepati. Which port did Vasco da Gama sail from in 1497 before he reached Calicut? Which port in Portugal did he sail from? There were 4 options given: Braga, Lisbon, Porto, and Edinburgh or something. The poor kid was confused. So he finally quit. Think back, 1497. What were the biggest ports in Portugal then? Only Lisbon. Braga, Porto is now a big port, but not those days. Lisbon. Your most logical answer. A port like Alveira it's never heard of it in history. And we have learned history of Portugal and the rest of the world, even if you don't need it. I've seen school books with the geography of the Pampas of Argentina. The Pampas of Argentina in a geography book. Indian school geography book. Indian school geography book being taught in a village where the villager does not even know what is outside the boundary of his village. And he's learning about the Pampas of Argentina. So we are being pumped in with all kinds of knowledge. As an Indian learner, I'm happy to be an Indian learner. I'm glad I'm an Indian learner. I have so much of information the rest of the world doesn't have. So by that logic, the kid wanted to say Lisbon. He was at, I think, 12 lakhs or something he had already got. Poor guy didn't want to take a chance, so he quit. And he was correct. So, no, Lisbon, but I'm not sure Lisbon. I've not heard of the other three. You have not heard of the other three, obviously you have not read and you have not been taught. You have not been taught because they are not there. They are not important. Reject the wrong answer. You are left with only one correct answer. So for us here also, go by the structures. Read the whole text. Den ganzen Text bis zum Ende muss man lesen. Then you attack the parts missing. Okay, so I wanted to start the next lesson, or we'll start with that tomorrow. Any other questions as of now or for today? In the structures, in the connectors, in this Bewerbungsschreiben. This is Prüfungsaufgabe, Bewerbungsschreiben. See, they're giving you a tip here. Look here, please. Please note this. Lassen Sie Ihre Bewerbungsunterlagen immer von jemandem Korrektur lesen. Get it proofread by someone else. Ein Fehler im Anschreiben ist oft schon einer zu viel. One mistake in your letter, in your writing, is one mistake too many. So there should not be any mistakes in your application that you write. That's a real life option. I'm talking from the Prüfungsperspektive. Don't make any mistakes in a Bewerbungsschreiben if you have to write one. Even one mistake is counted as one mistake too much. You lose a lot of marks there. Und man wird erst gar nicht zu einem Gespräch eingeladen. I had a fellow colleague, a teacher, who was very liberal with her marks. She was a former student of mine, and she was very, very motherly and maternal. Sir, छोटी सी गलती है, चलेगा. अच्छा? What do you mean, छोटी सी गलती है, चलेगा? Will you accept a छोटी सी गलती, like a doctor making a scar on your left hand when you were supposed to be cutting your right hand? गलती से इधर काटना शुरू किया हूँ, 2 स्टिच लगा दूंगा, अब मैं यहाँ पे काटूंगा. Will you allow that? छोटी सी गलती है. It's barely 1 millimeter here. Will you accept that? You can't do that in German. There's no such thing as छोटी सी गलती. A spoken word cannot be taken back. गलती not allowed. So please watch out here. एकदम पक्का with adjective Deklination, Großschreibung, Kleinschreibung. Pay attention to these tips. They are meant for the exams. Would you like to try a Bewerbungsschreiben? I think there's one here. No? Take your time, formulate it very correctly. Huh? There was one here. What are others in move? Okay, I'll check the Aufgabe and tell you tomorrow. Sonst noch Fragen? Any other questions? Noch Fragen? Keine Fragen mehr? Alles in Ordnung bis jetzt?
Yes.
Oder seid ihr mehr konfus als am Anfang heute.
Nein.
You want to try more of these exercises? Can I recommend something or can I search for something for you? How to fill up the blanks without really going into the meaning?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me see if I can find something for you. Without going into each and every word, how can you fill up an exercise with blanks in it? Okay, I'll try to get something by tomorrow if possible. Let me see. It means a lot of work. I have 2 to 4 hours of classes still today. 4 more. 1.5 plus 1.5. So 3 plus some time else. Yeah. And then see. Okay, let me see. Wenn es keine Fragen mehr gibt, dann verabschieden wir uns für heute und bis morgen. Alles Gute, macht's gut, bleib's gut, bleibt gesund, bleibt munter, immer lächeln und bitte keine Panik.